What is going on, everybody? Bobby Fye and Eric Sheets-Haber going to talk another day of baseball. We got 10 games tonight. And I think I kind of am figuring out what I want to do with this slate. I think I've got a better feel for it. A ton of people are out. It's just Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays. It seems like it's happening a little bit more than usual this year, but I think we're going to see some of that early in the year. Sheets, anything you wanted to talk about and go over before we get into the
a couple of things. First of all, for those of you that watch the early show, we were struggling to figure out how to use SaberSim to look back at previous slates, because Bobby was theorizing that a lot of the winners might be coming from non 5-man stacks, and a lot of the good players or might be starting to do that too. So we were looking at Giant Squid to try to see what his exposures were, and we just having a little trouble just kind of figuring it out. And but I had a session with Jordan from SaberSim afterwards, and he helped me figure out how to do that. So short term, we got the answer to our question, which we'll get to. But longer term, it's going to help me do that contest sim flashback and look at lineups, and I'll be able to convey that on to you guys as well. But the interesting thing is that is as Bobby suspected, or not suspected, as we considered, Giant Squid he put in 150 or whatever, that the majority of his stacks were not 5-man stacks, and even the non 5-mans weren't even 4-4s. They were like 4-3s and stuff like that. And what's also interesting about that is Giant Squid is a notoriously dedicated SaberSim user also. I think he might be actually, I would say overriding, but making a decision to not play all 5-man stacks. And far be it for me to criticize anything that guy does. So
and it's interesting, and I think on those smaller slates, it's more relevant than maybe it is on the 10 gamers. But when you don't love anything on a slate, I'm starting to think about doing that myself. And I'm still trying to, it's early in the season, still trying to tweak it a little bit and get things figured out. But it's not like there's a right answer or a wrong answer. It's just different ways of going about it. And yesterday, that was what worked.
A couple of other things. I am going to play the NBA tonight. It's full slate.
Yep.
I'm also going to do the NHL. So you'll see me building kind of stuff. I'm not. And again, the NBA not for a while, because that news doesn't come in for like a little bit. But do you have any thoughts on they fired Mike Malone today?
I cannot believe what the hell is going on. I don't know if this is like a new trend that we're going to see going forward, because I don't remember this ever happening. Both Taylor Jenkins for Memphis and Mike Malone. And I really don't understand this. Like, you're 11 days out from the playoffs. You're in the 4 seed right now. And I cannot, for the life of me, understand. Now, you could argue, okay, look, they have a coach on the floor all the time with Jokic, basically. You don't really need a genius to come up with that. However, I do think that there is something to the way that he runs things that obviously it worked. They won the title 2 years ago. I am very confused. I actually think that their odds dropped like crazy after the firing. They're 31 to 1, 31 to plus 31 whatever to win the title. I think they're like the 4th most likely team to win the title, and I was just sort of surprised by that. So
I have a different take. I think sort of the opposite. So what you have is the normal way of doing business in all of business, whether it be this or sports or whatever it is, that if an owner or a businessman or whatever is unhappy with something, they have this like arbitrary or artificial thing that they'll wait for, like, I'll do something at the end of the year, or I'll do something at the end of the quarter, I'll do something whatever. And in sports, typically, for decent reason, if a change wants, if they think a change might need to be made, maybe they'll wait till the end of the season. Okay, now sometimes they'll do it early in the season. Like sometimes they'll do it early. They say, listen, it's not working, and we have a chance to salvage the season, so we'll make the change now. And they do that too. But you don't see too much of this, like coaches or whatever, that for whatever reason, the owner is not happy with it. Okay, I don't want to judge him whether the owner's happy with it or not, because whether he should be or not, right, that I don't think is particularly relevant to this. But I think that if he's not happy for whatever reason, I think that getting rid of them now is perfectly fine.
What about so you get rid of the GM also, which is very strange because the biggest issue why Malone was even speculated was that the GM and him don't get along. They can't even speak to each other.
Right. No. And again,
why are you blowing it up right before?
I'm not commenting on the decision. Like the decision might be awful. Okay. Right. But, I don't think there's any reason if there's something going on between GM, coaches, whatever, the last thing I want going into the playoffs is like anybody mailing it in or all the negativity. I honestly think, based on what you said, I think the Nuggets are a super sharp bet right now.
Yeah.
You've seen this so many times that teams just start like whenever you get like they're struggling a little bit, you get any kind of change at all.
Yeah.
Like they'll just get ignited, and so you have the best player in the world at 31-1. I'm kind of down with that.
That's enough for me. Anytime that you get the best player in the world at 30+1 in the NBA, you're probably making a good bet, considering the best player usually wins the title. Like if you take the last 35 years of the NBA or my whole lifetime, the best player won the title or the second best player won the title almost every year. It's pretty wild. So I mean, not necessarily every year, but like a majority of the years. And I will include Steph in those for some of the and Durant when he was in Golden State as a better player than LeBron for some of those years. Anyway, I still can't. Maybe I'm too old school, and you actually have the new way of thinking. Maybe we're flipping roles here, but I just can't understand when you have like they have a legitimate chance to win a title this year. I just don't know why you would change it unless there's something else that maybe hasn't been released. I was just surprised, but we'll see.
We will see, and yeah.
I'm curious to see what happens in that. I think there's 4 teams in the West that can win the title, and I think that 2 of them are in LA. I think there's Denver, and I think OKC. So we'll see. Those are the ones that I would put money on. Are you looking at Valdez?
Yeah, I'm looking at some of these like weird questionables, like. Jackson Merrill was out yesterday. Valdez, he's playing. Okay. Yeah. So I'm just building some stuff right now. So when I'm building the drafting stuff without simming, I mean, not surprisingly, I'm getting Milwaukee, KC. That's interesting. Houston. I'm not getting so much Arizona. I think I want to make that happen.
I like that idea too, by the way.
Yeah.
I did notice something.
Change in the weather, by the way, anywhere or no?
No. I did notice something, though, that was strange earlier with SaberSim that seems to be fixed now. I was just running the Sims without touching a thing on FanDuel, and it was giving me like negative 100% ROI every time.
Oh, so you're going to lose.
So I was like, okay, well, and you never see that is the number, you know what I mean? But without doing anything, I've never seen that happen or anything like that even happen where it's not a positive. Otherwise, why would we be using it? But it has straightened out today. So if anybody ran into that issue, that is, not something you have to worry about.
That's actually pretty interesting because you know what? I mean, of all the things that I use and look at, I never even check like to see what the projected ROIs of the lineups are. Maybe I should just to see if I can spot maybe something that some error in inputs or something like that. Because I mean, I guess technically it shouldn't be producing like all negative ROI lineups, right? I mean,
right.
So yeah, that is interesting. So where you just look at, I guess, the average ROI, and if it's like all negative, it puts up a red flag for you.
Yeah. But for me, I'm okay with that because I change things, so I understand.
Oh, right, and you can understand why I would say that.
Yeah, exactly. But it doesn't. I mean, look, when I did the thing for, and I changed it in between every slate. But like when I won the $1 million for NFL,
you won $1 million? How the hell did that happen? That's sick. Good job. We got a post on that.
But I had my thing for that tournament was like negative 80% ROI. It was like a horrible number. But that's okay. You know what I mean? And also everything changes between everything. And if you're taking angles that may not be optimal, but might be, if you're playing 40 lineups out of and you max 150 and there's, whatever, however many hundreds of thousands of people in the tournament, I think it's okay to take some shots. And I actually don't mind it, even though I still try to keep it somewhat within reason, like under 40, negative 40 would be a normal number.
A big shout out, by the way, to, I don't know if you saw this, to FanDuel. Finally, they made the showdown format the same as DraftKings.
I saw that. Yeah, that's crazy. I saw that earlier. They finally figured it out to do it. I don't know.
Yep, they finally did it. So it's going to be, I think, six spots.
Yeah,
and a 1.5 salary for the 1.5 payout.
Yeah,
and it's going to obviously significantly reduce dupes, and it's going to make it the same as DraftKings. So I like it.
Yeah.
I like it, but now that's just more money I can lose.
Right, well, or win. You never know.
That's right.
But you've actually had some pretty good luck with that So I actually, for you, that's worse than it would be for me, because
I guess so.
You've done really well with that.
No, but I much prefer the six spots.
It makes so much more sense. It's pretty wild that it took until now, and it's like the weird time of year to do it. Like, I don't really understand the reasoning for now, but it is what it is. Yeah, so I never like these, me sheets. When questions come in, what's the best, who's the best play? I hate those questions. I'm never going to answer that. I'll say who I like. And also in baseball, the variance is so high. It used to happen at Roto Grinders a lot because you have a lot more, a lot of people watching. People say, oh my God, but you didn't like this stack and they scored 10 runs. And I'm like, okay, welcome to baseball. There's 162 games. There's 200 plus days. And I'm going to be wrong about a lot of things. There's nobody who's going to be right about everything. And it's just going to happen. So, but I would say right now, my favorite stack is actually, my highest owned is Baltimore on FanDuel. And
look at Baltimore on FanDuel. I'm getting 75% of them right now.
And for some reason, I'm getting a ton of Philly on DraftKings, and that doesn't feel right.
There you go.
It feels a little
thin.
I don't know if I can quite do it against Sale. I mean, it's not like Sale gets lit up. That's the thing. I don't know. It feels funky, but I mean, this Philly lineup is solid. And I didn't do a Chris Sale BVP because he must have had an extensive experience with all these guys. I'm just curious. I'll take a quick look and see if there's just maybe something that he maybe struggles with this one team. I don't think so though. No, he's been awesome against them and not very much experience actually.
Who is Heston Kjerstad?
He's the well, depending on the day, an outfielder for Baltimore.
Yeah, today it looks like he's hitting 7.
Yeah.
300.
Kevin's all saying that Lobo saying, what's the best play? No, I'll just say, like, what I'm going to be doing is I'll be really heavy on both sides of the Baltimore game. Everybody knows that I have no problem going against Merrill Kelly all the time. I like both San Diego and I like Oakland, or at the Athletics a little bit. And as I always say, lots can change between now and then. Of the early games, the one stack that I really like is Tampa Bay, and I like Colorado a little bit. So those are the main ones for me. I also, where I don't have Colorado, will probably end up with a good amount of Peralta.
Hey, Kevin, we didn't talk about this, by the way. You heard who I ran into, right? Don't say it, Bobby. You heard who I ran into, right, Kevin, in Arizona? I mean, if you didn't, I'm really, really mad. Because I ran into someone in Arizona. I didn't obviously recognize him because my brain is fried after all these years. But he came up and said, dude, you don't remember me? And I'm like, I'm staring at him. I'm like, oh, my God. And then I said, oh, dude, you got to take a picture and send it to Kevin. And he took a picture. He's like, don't worry, I'll send it to Kevin. I'm like, okay. But and the fact that you didn't mention anything to me. Oh, you did. You said, okay, Aaron. Okay, yeah, that was it. Yeah. And it was so funny. I was talking to Aguiar actually, and he just and I haven't seen him in forever. And then Aaron just comes right up to me and he says, "You don't remember me, do you?" I'm like, "Boy, I'm telling you, I'm just the worst." And I stared at him. He's like, "I'm gonna stand here until you remember me." I'm like, Aaron, I totally freaking got it. I'm so happy. Oh my! He said I was oh man, that's brutal.
That's brutal.
Oh, God damn. I guess it's possible. No, I mean, I was talking to Aguiar, and then I was asking him all these questions. Like, how is it going? I asked how his brother was. I asked if he's still playing. He's still doing it. And I'm like, oh my God, so awesome. Man, I guess I'm really not nice. I mean, if that was me being a dick, maybe I'm just not nice in general. I don't know. I feel bad now.
No, don't.
Because he actually had 2 guys that he was sweating. what happens is when you you know this, when you go, you get to bring like a +1.
Yeah.
I think it was a +1 for like 2 people or something like that.
Yeah.
You had, like 2 people who had like multiple entries and stuff. I wonder how he I wonder how the guy did. I was long gone before it ended. I know the guy who won wasn't there. But anyway, yeah, I hope he's doing well. I did want to talk to him too, because whenever I see like guys that have been playing poker for all this time and they're still doing it, I always want to ask him if they've done a lot of that like extra studying, like solver stuff, or is Aaron the type of guy that's going to just he's playing like mostly live stuff, so it's going to be kind of softer, so he doesn't need to do it. I can't picture like Aaron like grinding like all the solver theory and stuff like that. I that's just not the way I picture him as a player. But then again, he's a student, so I don't know. I hope he's doing well. He was always he was a guy, by the way, who he wasn't there. I mean, he was just getting started just when I was kind of phasing out of it. So I didn't really get to hang with him and just be a real big part of his growth. But listen, hope he is doing really well, and I apologize if I came off that way. Anyway, when I run these sims, by the way, not surprisingly, I mean, everybody's in a mood, everybody's in a mood. They want you to play all the Minnesota, against Reagan's, all of the all the anti plays. I mean, honestly, it's pretty much
where it's at today. I know. You got Philly, Minnesota for me showing up with if I don't do anything, but I did change some things.
Yeah.
And I am gonna do my I've been trying to mess around with the late swap, but
who's out here? Oh, Matt McClain is out. Okay.
Yeah.
I think he's out.
There's a bunch of guys who are out, so I can't remember everybody. But McClain, I didn't have him in before, but I think that Saberson did. Yeah, so I mean, just as far as what I'm getting to now, and everything keeps changing because every time I keep running the updated sims with my twist, there's somebody else who's not playing today. This is going to change. I am getting to way too much Pablo Lopez.
Oh man.
And it's because when I try to fade the chalky stacks, they're giving me all the Lopez, who I kind of like as a low owned play, but I don't think I need 75% of them. That seems excessive.
No, you don't.
It feels
75% of him. I don't think.
Feels like a little bit too much for me. But the ones who I am more okay with, and let me just take a quick look. The ones who I'm more okay with is a Wheeler, and then they're not giving me right now the amount of. So I'm going to actually manually change this. I like Shane Baz, and I like what's his name a lot. Reagan's. I just always want to be higher than whatever the field is usually on him. I don't like this matchup for him, but I still like him enough to where I'm probably going to end up there. And the other weird one that was getting a little bit earlier is I don't think I'm going to end up with as much tie-on as they want to give me. The interesting one, though, is Dylan Cease, because as much as I have some interest in Oakland and the A's and Athletic, whatever, you can make an argument that Dylan Cease is the best play on this slate, and he's certainly not going to be owned like it. He has probably the highest upside. He definitely has, we know he's volatile. He has, in terms of strikeouts, they've got him third. But again, there's a ton of upside there. So I like, again, it's one of those other days where I'm playing a lot of hitters against my pitchers. And that's just the way it is.
Boy, I can't believe I'm really doing this. I'm doing I'm doing all the anti-Merrill Kelly on FanDuel.
We've been waiting for it, Sheets. I've been waiting for the right spot. And unfortunately, I had a great spot. It happened, unfortunately, on Saturday when I didn't play.
Oh.
So that was my problem, because I know I would have stacked against him then. I always do. But in his defense, he's definitely improved from what he used to be. I will be posting, guys, site members. I will be posting my exposures probably after we're done here. I just am not quite set on everything yet. But I think you know who I like based on what I was saying. Those later games and pretty much the later games. But Baltimore, Arizona, the A's, and San Diego are the teams that I'm I don't love the San Diego thing so much, but because I like Springs as a pitcher, I just feel like if they can get to him, they have a chance at beating up on. I know they're good at the end of the bullpen, but the earlier part of the bullpen I think is fairly weak for the A's. So, and I still believe that stadium is going to play somewhat small, so you'll see more home runs there.
Meanwhile, shout out again. We didn't talk about the shout out to my buddy who won the Florida Futures bet.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I mean, he did hedge like a decent amount, but yet still he kept kept a good amount of it. Got his street cred because he put it out there all season long. He was tweeting about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
It looked scary for them last night. I thought they were going
to run out of the building.
Yeah, I really thought that Houston looked.
They were very athletic, but just they just it's not quite as skillful. It's
Yep. Yeah, that one guy from Florida who had a terrible shooting night too. He's going to be.
Yeah, but he had the freaking closeout of the year.
Yeah, he's going to be awesome. Yeah, exactly. You're right. He's going to be like a great. I'm pretty confident of him being a really, really good NBA player. Wow, they're really trying to give me this Philly for some reason. I really don't fully understand why.
We're in the mood.
Yep. Oh man, I don't want to have to change too many things here, and we want the A's. Let me just see where I'm at here. I really like Wheeler, by the way. I don't know. It feels like I feel like Wheeler Reagans feels like the natural to me. And I think Cease is the best tournament. Like, I think it's a good idea to get double over his 10% ownership.
You know what's going on, by the way, Kevin? Maybe Kevin, you might appreciate this. So I'm basically undergoing kind of a reincarnation of sorts. So remember the way my gambling kind of career proceeded. I mean, I've been doing horses forever, but first I got into chess, then I got into backgammon, and then I got into poker before DFS. I kind of gave up, not gave up, but I gave up like really getting better at chess or even following chess, aside from like Elon and stuff like that. And with backgammon, I'll tell you how that works.
Can I interject? What do you mean except for Elon?
Oh, my friend Elon, who's like a big chess.
Oh, I thought you meant like Elon Musk, and it was because there was a whole.
No, Elon Schwartz. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and he's the one that got me into poker as well. After I've talked about this several times, but so I went to see the World Chess Blitz Championships in New York at the end of December, and I hadn't been in like so long, and it was like so great to see all the old chess. That's where I ran into the guy from the Bills I told you about, the receiver.
Yeah.
I forget who it was. The guy, I forget who it is. Like a third or fourth receiver. What's his name?
Wasn't it Matt Collins?
Matt Collins, right.
Yeah.
So then after that, my friend Arkady, he'd been begging me to get back into backgammon to play. And there's always one tournament in New York that they play every year. And the thing with backgammon is that when I got really into it back in 2006, 2007 or so, actually, excuse me, 1997 or so. And I learned how to play, got really good, but not great. You know what I mean? Like I got to that point where I was just about to be really, really great. And then what happened was I moved out of the city and I got into poker. And so when all the people from backgammon left for poker, I completely gave up backgammon like 25 years ago. And so I went to this tournament in New York a couple of weeks ago, back in January, and I saw all the old guys from back and I haven't seen forever. And there's this one guy named Dirk Sheeman who was like me, sort of. He was like really great at poker. Really great at backgammon, but he gave up backgammon for poker, but he got back into it like 5-6 years ago, became like world champion. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to learn how to play backgammon again. I don't know how I'm going to, what's going to happen. I'm going to see if I can get that next step. So I've been actually studying backgammon since then. I've been actually taking lessons from Dirk, who's like the best player in the world right now. Mm-hmm. So just like once a week, just to keep my brain going. I don't even know when, if I'm going to play it, but just kind of getting better at it. So it's kind of like reincarnating, like went all the way back to chess, then back to backgammon. Who knows? Maybe I'll learn poker again one of these days. We'll see. We shall see.
I'm heading out this summer. If you're
going to play?
I'm going to play the main event for sure.
Nice.
Did
you play last year?
What?
Did you play last year?
No, I haven't played in like probably 8 to 10. I mean, in the main event, I played it online.
Okay.
I played some live games and stuff, but no, it's been a while since I've played the main, like a long time. But I'm definitely going to do it this year. I'm not missing it. And I think it's going to be a madhouse, but it'll be fun. I really like it. One thing that's crazy is keeping your brain active. You talk about this stuff all the time, but I noticed like because I played heavily like for those month and a half where we didn't have sports during the pandemic.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, we all.
I was cruising, man. I did.
Remember you got into the holy war with Adam Sharp?
Well, because he took a picture with me with 0 chips. So I just went to Shark Scope and looked at his negative 30,000 from the last week and my plus 65,000 and said like that was my response. And then everybody like. These idiots from some of these other companies, I'm not going to name names, got mad at me, and I didn't even start the thing. I just responded by writing a better post than he did.
Right.
Anyway, it was annoying. Anyway,
that was fun, dude. Remember, Kevin, you watched me win something during COVID. Remember that? You were sweating. I won something. It was either I forget what I think it was the ACR or I think so. That was a lot of fun.
ACR was on fire at the time. Everybody was playing. And nobody knew, like, it was like everybody knew each other who played all the time on the site. But, like, it was kind of cool because, like, all right, nobody has any idea how I play. And, like, they're not going to have an idea from a couple week sample size. You know what I mean? It's too hard.
Okay, so what you see me doing now, guys, by the way, is doing the NHL stuff. So, again, very, very, very streamlined with hockey. I mean, I did pretty well last night in hockey. That kind of saved my night. So I want to see who I get here, but I always run the Sims in hockey. Again, just whatever, hashtag whatever works, I guess. Now here we're actually getting closer to the playoffs, so you're probably going to get similar stuff. I never won anything in poker. I didn't. You're probably right. But it was fun that time when you were sweating during COVID. That was.
You might be talking to me. I don't know. There's a little delay. But I
probably you? Oh, okay.
I don't know. I definitely won in poker.
Yeah, I don't know. But what's fun about that? I think we had the same tournament. I had to leave for like Stacy got sick, needed something from the pharmacy, and back then you couldn't go anywhere, right? Like the pharmacy was the only place you're allowed to go.
Yeah. And
so I back from the oldest, I think I called Shane. I'm like, Shane, dude, old school. You want to take over for me for like half an hour, right? So I tell you, I went into the freaking pharmacy with 100 masks, and it was like that was like right at the beginning where it was like just freaking just ghost town. And I came back and I took back over and took the thing down. It's
that's funny.
Let's see. All right, so we have this, and we're gonna go stack exposure again. I only want to play.
I was talking to you.
Derek. Hi, very nice. Good job. There you go. There you go. Good job, Kevin. I miss you, Kevin. Get rid of the 3 3s, 3 2s, 4 2s, 4s.
You on FanDuel or DraftKings? Or that's hard for me to see. Oh, you're on DraftKings.
Yeah, I don't play FanDuel hockey.
Oh, you're on hockey. Yeah. You're very committed to your style with hockey. It seems to work.
Yeah. Yep. Still the funniest times I ever had playing poker was actually with Kevin. Kevin and I didn't play too often together because I didn't really play live too much. But there was one tournament where we're in, I want to say AC, where James Woods was at our table.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just I can't even describe.
I played with him so many times because I'm in LA, so like Commerce, like first of all, I hated playing with him. I hate him as a human being. He was just vile. He was bringing in girls who I don't think were even allowed in the casino, and he was a terrible poker player, in my opinion.
He was beyond awful.
He was really bad, but I couldn't believe he kept playing all these events because it's not like this like a super.
Because he just freaking loved it.
I mean, he's playing like 25K buy-ins, and I'm just like, what are you
He
doing?
loved it. And then I forgot the whole story, but like he was talking to Kevin. He's idolizes Kevin online, and he wants to sweat Kevin and look over him. Yeah, and then Yeah, see, Kevin has a much better memory for this than I do. But I was really funny. There was one hand where he like called somebody off with some crazy number, like some 10-3, and he said like he said, "Oh, well, I put you on ace king." And as you know, I mean, you listen. I don't have to tell you that ace king against that's only like 60%. So I don't have to tell you that. But I do think it was really funny.
That's funny. Yeah, let's see.
The Maurice Hawkins, man, that's someone who's definitely still doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of live rings. Was he a cheater? I don't think he was a cheater.
No,
right?
he didn't So the guy folded the winning hand. The dealer gave the wrong thing. He didn't say anything. Neither did anybody else at the table. There was four-handed.
Oh, you mean recently? Right.
Yeah. And some of the idiot, like, okay, Sean Deeb's whole point was so stupid. Like most of his points, he was making this case that the people are the other players don't have the right to say anything. I think it's so stupid. Like if you're at the table, you can point out if they hand the pot to the wrong person. Period. And by the way, I'd be okay if someone on the fucking rail did it. You're not. It doesn't. You're giving the pot to the wrong person. It's like what is the? It doesn't matter anyway. It should all go there.
Oh, this is crazy. I had 2 diamond and a 4 diamond board. Maurice tanked with straight on the river. Called my bet. I announced flush is good. He proudly tables a straight. I table the flush and asked him what flush he beat. Love it. I forgot the guy's name, but Kevin had one of the great slow rolls of all time in Foxwoods. It's like 1,000 people watching. It seemed that way. And I remember Gank declared that it was like October was slow roll month or something. And so it's the nicest, sweetest guy in the world. Nicest guy I've ever seen in my life, like goes all in or something. And Kevin just gives his whole speech, how it's slow roll month and this, and he slow rolls them. And 99.9% of the United States of America, if there were that guy, would have punched Kevin in the face and suplexed him, whatever. The guy had this big old smile on his face. Oh well, I'm knocked out, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It was legendary. It really was.
That's pretty funny. How about when Sean Deeb sent it? Because my other friends played for you at the time, but he sent it out to all your group chat about how I slow rolled him with it was a 10K pot limit hold'em event, and I opened the button. He 3-bet, and Shannon Shore shipped from the big blind. I called, and then he potted it, and we had massive stacks on day 2, and he potted it for his tournament, and I thought for maybe 15 seconds with 9s and called him. He had king queen offsuit, and he went crazy about me slow rolling him with 9s and a 5-bet pot limit hold'em pre-flop. It was so stupid. It was like this guy's nuts. Yeah, let's see.
So I'm building some dummy NBA lineups again. It's just so stupid to even build anything before 655. I mean, it's like the whole universe is going to get ruled out probably.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play anyways. Oh, we got a little revenge. Oh my God, we have some revenge here.
What you got?
You got the Lakers against OKC again.
I don't think OKC gives a damn about anything.
I think OKC is going to want to win by 40.
Why would they play anybody? I don't think they'll play anybody. There's no reason to play except for the minimum number of minutes. They're up by 12. Maybe they do, but I don't think that they care. What's the spread?
Oh, I don't know. You know what? I saw who was going to be valued today earlier. There was there was some Brooklyn value or something like Reese, the guy from UVA. He was going to be a play. Reese, whatever his name is, he has no chance.
Which one?
Reese Beekman.
Oh yeah.
Celtics at Knicks. They're both playing possum. Well, actually, that's not true. What do the Knicks need a seed?
What's that?
The Knicks need a seed, probably, right?
They have actually. Let me double check the standings today. Standings. All right.
Knicks are pick 'em. Who's out for Boston? Like everybody.
Knicks, yeah. I mean, they're 3 up on the Pacers, and
okay, that's locked.
But there's only 4 to go, so this
Right.
would steal the seed. But they need to play Jalen Brunson because if he doesn't play at least 20 whatever minutes in 65 games, then he can't be all NBA.
All NBA? That's a thing.
Oh, it's the biggest thing. It's
really?
All the contracts are tied to it.
Oh, really?
All the NBA in the last year, like it could change your life by hundreds of millions of dollars. Like it's crazy.
You're right.
Kevin Saul asking about the cheap stacks on FanDuel. I don't know why. Like I never understand. Like because I don't think about. I mean, you can always find cheap parts of the stack, but I guess on FanDuel it does matter a little bit more. I'm just trying to scroll over the. So, what is that?
What's up?
What was that? A fax machine?
No, it's a printer.
Oh, I was like, what year is
that? Money printer go burr.
So who's like? I don't know. I really like. I'm not having trouble with pricing, but Tampa is going to be popular over there. I mean, Baltimore is like. There's cheap parts of that stat.
They're gonna end up being chalk, aren't they?
On FanDuel, they will have some ownership because O'Hearn and Mountcastle are so cheap. I don't think it's gonna be that good, but I think that Baltimore would be. I would go back to Baltimore over there.
Wait, so Rui is out. Oh no. Oh, okay. I can't believe I'm watching an injury report on like ESPN. Like that means it. Okay. What's the Lakers seed?
Well, I'll tell you in a couple days.
It's still that thing where it's like a big gap, you know, like one game between like 6th and 10th or something.
Everybody's I think
sounds like Sheets is going to mail his lineups into DK
tonight. The odds would be.
Yeah, you're either you are jumping or I'm jumping as far as the connection goes. Yeah, I don't know. So these are really just dummy lineups that's going on with NBA right now. I literally have no idea who's playing. Yeah, so Bobby is now gone. I guess I got nothing else to say, or to answer. NBA is just silly. I'll probably put new projections up, closer to 630, 645 or so, and just kind of fire off the lineups as they happen. Hockey, you saw me do my whole process. What I did was I uploaded projections. I'll do them again, but again, upload projections, run my builds, and then knock out, for me, all the Bow Wow stacks, meaning anything except for 5 2s and 6s and 4 3s. I'm just not going to play. And I do run the sims, and I use the contest sims from SaberSim. Baseball, I still haven't decided whether I'm going to use the sims or the contest sims or not. I mean, they're just asking for so much leverage here. I don't know. I don't know if that's wise. I don't know what else to say. I mean, if you want to know who the good plays are, I mean that's sort of easy, right? This is like MMA. I mean, I can tell you who the good plays are, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're supposed to play them, right? The best plays are Cole Reagans, Sale, Peralta. I think Sale and Reagans are probably the two best. I mean, I think because Peralta is playing in Colorado. And then as far as stacks go, Baltimore, San Diego, Milwaukee, I guess. So I don't know. You want to play chalky, you'll do that. You play Reagans with Sale or Reagans with Peralta, or some combination of those three, and then play Baltimore and play San Diego or play Milwaukee. But if you do that in the lottery, you're just really asking to, like even like something stupid. Like look at this. Actually, this isn't so bad. It says Valdez in it. See, some of these aren't too bad. I'm just kind of just scrolling down these random stacks here. So this one isn't bad. This is Sale, Peralta. This got Astros and Royals. That has no Brewers. Yeah, so maybe this isn't too bad. There are some Brewers. There are some Brewers. And this is rating by so here's an example. So this is by Saber Score. If you do it by Saber Score, this is what you get. Milwaukee, KC, Houston, Baltimore, San Diego, San Francisco. You think like somewhat reasonable, right? And now when we run the contest sims, which all that means is that instead of just going with just straight ownership fade, we're actually trying to match the exact lineups we're playing to the exact lineups that Saber Sims algorithm feels the rest of the field is playing. And just look what you end up getting here. You just see it happen. Processing. 62% Houston, which in and of itself is not terrible. I mean, I guess what 62% Houston against Castillo, and then you start with the 40% Minnesota against Reagans, and this is what ends up happening. And then 18% Philadelphia against the Braves. So it's very challenging to figure out which way to go. Because I don't think you're supposed to blend these processes. I think you're supposed to either go with one or the other. I just don't know exactly what to do. Probably going to end up, I don't know. Probably end up just going the chalky route today. I just don't know how I can play all these Minnesotas against Cole Reagans. But now I'm just talking. You know what I mean? I'm replacing the algorithms and the processes with my own just biases. So I just don't know what I'm going to do. All right. Any other? You're saying who's the cheap stack on FanDuel to get off Tampa chalk? Well, that's interesting. Do I even have Tampa? Let me see. I didn't even think I got to too much Tampa. I got all this Baltimore. Let me see. Actually, these were the simmed ones because we're sorted by ROI. But when you sort them by, it's a large slate, right? Where are you? See, like 76% Baltimore, only 15% Tampa. So I don't know how much Tampa I'm really getting here. All this Baltimore is making me a little bit nervous. But the good thing is it's a 940 game with options, so I could always swap off of all that. I'm curious what kind of, if I ran an NBA projection set, what it would look like. I mean, do we even know who's starting in these games? I mean, is anybody questionable? Wait, we have Luka. Well, Luka's probable. He's playing. Right? So no one's questionable here. Actually, no, Giannis is questionable. Tatum is legit questionable. Giannis is probable. So I guess it looks like relatively clean. Except for Tatum. When I looked at the projections earlier, it looked like Darius Garland stood out, and I guess my initial build is kind of bearing that out here. I guess we'll do a Masters thing like everybody else. So let me give you my. I'm going to tell you a couple of things about the Masters from a DFS perspective. Hold on a minute. Let me fix this. Ty Jerome, Patrick Williams, Devon Terry. These guys all look good. I will tell you who is going to be too popular. Okay, in the lottery, in like a $10 milli maker, I'm going to tell you right now which guys are going to be over-owned relative to what their actual chances of performing. And they all fit kind of the same thing. You know, with so many different opportunities to win the $1 million and DraftKings actually giving $10 away to people. I mean, there's going to be a lot of casual play in this. So between that and just the way DFS people play in general. Hold on, let me just finish the FanDuel build. Let me just put this up, and then I'll give you the big news. It's not going to be particularly surprising, by the way. I will tell you who the most over-owned players in the Masters DFS will be. Hold on, let me just upload the NBA projections. Okay. So the three guys that are going to be the most over-owned are Scotty Scheffler, number one. I don't understand any particular order. Number two, Rory McIlroy. And number three, Phil Mickelson. Okay, to me, those are the three guys that are going to be the most over-owned relative to their actual chances of performing from a DFS perspective of everybody on the slate, just because they're just the most. Oh, and the fourth one, sorry, and Bryson DeChambeau. Okay, DeChambeau, Rory, what's his name, Scheffler, and Mickelson. Those are the guys that everybody is going to want to play. Okay, everybody that puts in a lineup that has never played before or whatever, they're going to want to play either of those three guys. Like, everybody loves Bryson DeChambeau. Okay, he's big social media guy, and he's got the mystery coming from Live and all that stuff. And then you have Rory and Scheffler. Everybody agrees it's going to be one of those two. So that means that both of them are going to be owned more than they should. And then Phil Mickelson, because he's so cheap, he's going to be probably a chalky bit of value this week. So I would suggest that those four guys are the most over-owned. I will also say that the kind of the hipster underdog play of the week. Okay. That could be two. I was going to get to that one. So that there are two what I call hipster underdog plays of the week also. Guys that are going to be, but this one guy I'm talking about is going to be like really popular, I think, in the bigger buy-ins. Maybe not as much in the smaller ones, but one guy, Kevin hit the nail right on the head, Sergio Garcia. He is going to be over-owned. I completely agree with him on that. And the other guy is Sepp Straka. Okay, he's another guy who's everybody's just kind of like favorite dude to just say is really good. Okay, especially among like model guys and whatever it is. So he won't be as owned in the $10 because the regular public doesn't really know him that well. But in like the $5.55 and higher. Like, I think in the 33-33, by the way, if people play that, I think Straka is going to be just jammed in that thing. He's just that uber model guy that everybody loves to play. So I don't know. Henley's win. I don't know if Henley can win, but he's definitely, I don't know if he's got the length to actually win that thing, but he certainly can win the DFS contests. With whatever number he puts up. I will tell you, I did make one outright bet. I'm going to tell you who's winning, by the way, but that's not who I bet. I'll tell you that in a second. The guy, I'll tell you the guy I bet tomorrow. I'm just going to hold it off till tomorrow. The guy's got no chance, but I'm doing it anyway. I'll tell you who's going to win. The guy who's going to win, it's going to be one of two guys. It's going to be either Well, 3 guys really. So that's cheating. If I say 3 guys, that's just kind of I'm gonna be like one of those DFS tout guys. So I'm not gonna do that. Is that right, Kevin? Shows what I know. That's like so surprising. And you know what that means, by the way? If he's top 20 in driving distance, if that means he's 20, right? Otherwise, we would say he's top 50. I really like Xander this week to win. I'm not going to bet him because he's whatever. I'm going to bet somebody else who's got like no chance. But I really like Xander's chances this week. I think he's just. I mean, maybe it's a little too soon for him to put up a ceiling, but just because the way he's come back, I just kind of like him. I think Oberg is going to be that guy that people are going to want to play and want to think is going to win. I just think for whatever reason he just doesn't give an F like too much. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't care. Like he has there's no idea where he's playing. It's like the same thing. So I think he could get into a little bit of trouble here, and not respect the course so much, and he can end up with like a couple of big numbers. But I can certainly see it in doing so. I actually do like Xander this week. All right, let's redo the basketball, and then I'm gonna actually get out of here. This. Build. That is like that's legitimately amazing that Russell Henley is top 20 driving distance, because I promise you that if you polled the DFS community, the draft, the golf community, and asked everybody to guess what he was ranked in driving distance, the number would be lower than 20. That's for sure. What people think. So maybe you're right. Maybe that's the nuts. If he's actually got more distance than people think, then maybe even though he's kind of the model darling, like people were playing him not for the chance to win. People are playing him to get 18th or something like that. And if he does actually have like distance to, maybe we should bet him. Maybe we should bet him outright. I think we got that. Is that a good one? What are his odds? 50 or more? Check him out. Henley to win. Hey, this is Kevin. You're the outright dude, right? Well, I like playing those. What I had the best top. I did top Spanish nationality from last year or something. I got like John Rahm at like only minus like 170 or something like that against guys I never heard of, and then I ended up winning. That really plays 8,000 yards. That's amazing. I'm late. Look at that. There's AJ. Look at this. That's pretty funny. Because we have Kevin just a few minutes ago said, who are you going to play to get off the Tampa chalk? And then I came in and said, I'm not getting much Tampa. And then AJ comes right on in with wow, I'm getting a bunch of Tampa. So I don't know. You think Henley also? We got to try this. You got Kevin below above Saul and AJ Love Music on Henley. I mean, how am I not playing that? So we're going to play the guy that I already played one guy. I'll release him tomorrow. It's literally throwing money in the trash can, but I'm doing it anyway. And then we're going to bet Henley. We have to. We just have to bet Henley. It's been thrown into the universe too aggressively now. Okay. So we'll probably give one more projection run as we get closer, but I think we're kind of good here. Now, again, if things are going well or whatever, maybe I'll do a live sweat or whatever and do my first my first Masters build. We'll see. Yep, Masters weekend. I'm just happy to be able to see like the guys that we're rooting for, because the Masters has that streaming thing where you could. It's actually a little awkward to follow, but at least you could follow most of the videos. I'm done. I'm done with my 5 minutes. Not even. Okay. But the real big news, of course. Well, first of all, this is a great UFC card this weekend. But it's most important is Passover this weekend. So what's that? All right, that's it. I guess I'm gonna get out of here. Good luck, everybody.